It was a bright morning in the city when a group of top engineers stood around a beautiful silver car. It wasn't just any car. It was the pride of billionaire Mr. Raymond Cole. The car was worth millions, but now it was broken. No one could figure out why. Mr. Cole stood with his arms crossed, his face calm but cold. He had already called the best mechanics from across the country. They all tried. They all failed. The car's engine made a strange sound and then died no matter what they did. "Sir, we have done everything we can," said one of the engineers. "This engine is impossible." Mr. Cole looked at them with disappointment. "Impossible?" he repeated quietly. "I don't believe in that word." Outside the workshop, a young girl stood near the gate. Her name was Lena. She looked around 14, her clothes old and covered in dust. She didn't belong there, at least that's what everyone thought. But her eyes were sharp, curious, full of something special. Hope. She watched as the men shook their heads and walked away one by one. When the last mechanic left, she took a deep breath and stepped forward. "Excuse me, sir," she said softly, her voice shy but clear. Mr. Cole turned around, surprised. "Who are you?" he asked. I saw your car," she said, pointing toward the silver machine. "I think I can help." The workers standing nearby laughed. One of them whispered, "She's just a kid. What does she know about engines?" But Lena didn't back away. "Please, sir," she said again. "If you permit, I will try." Mr. Cole looked at her closely. Her hands were rough and her face showed signs of hunger and struggle, but her eyes, they were full of determination. He stayed silent for a moment, then sighed. "Fine," he said. "Go ahead. But if you break anything, it's on you." The workers laughed again. "She won't last 5 minutes," one said. Lena ignored them. She walked slowly toward the car, her heart beating fast. The silver engine shone under the bright lights. She touched it gently as if it were alive. Then she closed her eyes for a second, remembering her father. Her father had been a mechanic too before he passed away. She used to sit beside him in the small workshop and watch him fix old engines with love and patience. "Machines are like people," he used to say. "You just have to listen." Now she did exactly that. She listened. The other workers stood far away, waiting for her to fail. After a few minutes, she picked up a small wrench and began to work. Her movements were careful but confident. The sound of metal clicking filled the room. Mr. Cole watched silently, arms still crossed. He didn't expect anything. He was only curious to see how far this brave little girl would go before giving up. But she didn't stop. She wiped the sweat from her forehead and continued, checking each wire, each bolt. Finally, she found something small, a missing connector deep inside the system. No one else had noticed it. "Can you pass me that blue wire?" she asked one of the workers. The man hesitated, then handed it to her. She fixed it in place, tightened the bolt, and stood back. "Try it now," she said. Mr. Cole raised an eyebrow. "You want me to start it?" "Yes," she replied calmly. He walked over and turned the key. For a moment, silence filled the air. Everyone held their breath. Then, vroom! The engine came to life with a deep, smooth roar. The car purred like it was brand new. The workers froze. Mr. Cole's eyes widened in disbelief. How did you do that?" he asked slowly. Lena smiled a little, brushing her hair away from her face. "I just listened," she said. The whole workshop went silent. The same men who laughed at her now looked at her with respect, and maybe a little shame. Mr. Cole stared at her for a long time, then smiled for the first time that day. "You may be just a kid," he said quietly, "but you have something even my best engineers don't." Lena didn't know what to say. She just nodded and looked at the car, happy that it was running again. But deep down she knew. This was only the beginning. The sound of the engine filled the whole workshop. Everyone was still staring, silent, shocked, and amazed. Mr. Cole slowly walked around the car, his eyes on the engine that was now running perfectly. The same engine that his top engineers couldn't fix. The same engine that a small homeless girl had just brought back to life. He looked at Lena again. She was smiling shyly, her face lit by the reflection of the car's silver body. Her clothes were dirty, her hands black with grease, but her eyes sparkled with quiet pride. Mr. Cole spoke finally. "You said your name was Lena, right?" "Yes, sir," she said softly. He nodded. "Well, Lena, I think you just saved my car and maybe my day." The workers around them shifted uncomfortably. A few of them avoided her eyes, remembering how they laughed at her just minutes ago. One man muttered, She just got lucky. But Lena heard him. She didn't argue. She only looked at the car again and said, "Sometimes luck comes when you don't give up." Mr. Cole almost smiled at that. Then he turned to one of his drivers. "Bring the keys. I want to test this myself." Everyone's eyes followed him as he opened the driver's door and sat inside. The car looked even more powerful now and alive again. He started the engine one more time. It roared smoothly, not a single strange sound. Mr. Cole nodded in approval, then looked out the window. "Lena," he called. "Come with me." She blinked in surprise. "Me?" "Yes," he said. "If you fixed it, you should ride in it." The workers exchanged looks. Some smiled in disbelief. The billionaire, the same man known for his pride, was inviting a homeless girl into his luxury car. Lena hesitated for a moment, then wiped her hands on her old shirt and walked forward. Her heart was beating fast as she sat in the passenger seat. The leather was soft. The air smelled like new. She had never sat in a car like this before. "Ready?" Mr. Cole asked. Lena nodded. "Ready?" He pressed the accelerator. The car moved smoothly, faster than before, gliding out of the workshop and onto the road. The morning sun reflected on the hood, and for the first time in weeks Mr. Cole looked relaxed. They drove in silence for a while. Then he spoke. "Where did you learn to fix engines like that?" Lena looked out the window. "My father taught me," she said. "He used to fix old cars for people in our neighborhood. We didn't have much money, but he said every broken thing has a way to work again, if you listen carefully." Mr. Cole nodded slowly. "He sounds like a wise man." "He was," Lena whispered. "But he passed away last year. After that, I didn't have anywhere to go." The road stretched ahead, wide and quiet. Mr. Cole didn't know what to say. For the first time in a long time, he felt something, not pity, but respect. "You know," he said after a pause, "most people would have given up a long time ago. But you didn't." Lena smiled faintly. "My dad used to say giving up doesn't fix anything." Mr. Cole chuckled softly. He was right. As they drove further, the car's performance amazed even him. It felt brand new. Every sound was perfect, every gear smooth. He parked near a lake not far from the city. The air was calm and the water sparkled in the sunlight. Mr. Cole stepped out and looked at the car. "You've done something my best engineers couldn't do in 3 months," he said. "That's not luck, Lena, that's talent." She looked down shyly. "Thank you, sir." He studied her for a moment. "Do you have a place to stay?" Lena shook her head. "No, sir. I sleep near the old bus station sometimes. It's safe there, mostly." Mr. Cole frowned slightly. "That's no place for a girl your age." "It's okay," she said quickly. "I'm used to it." But something inside Mr. Cole changed at that moment. He had seen many people in his life, rich, powerful, proud, but no one with eyes like hers. Eyes that carried both pain and hope. "Come to the workshop tomorrow," he said finally. "I have an offer for you." Her eyes widened. "An offer?" "Yes," he said. "You'll see." Then he started the car again and they drove back toward the city. As they reached the workshop, the workers rushed to open the gates. They looked surprised to see Lena sitting beside their boss. Mr. Cole got out first, then looked back at her. "Tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock, he said. Lena nodded quickly. "I'll be there, sir." When the car drove away, she stood outside for a moment, her heart full of excitement and fear. She didn't know what would happen next, but she knew one thing for sure. Her life was about to change. That night, as she lay under the stars near the old bus station, she smiled for the first time in a long time. "Dad?" she whispered. "I think I finally fixed something big today." The wind blew softly around her, as if answering, and far away in his mansion, Mr. Cole couldn't stop thinking about the girl who said, "If you permit, I will try." The next morning, the sun was still low in the sky when Lena woke up. She rubbed her eyes and sat up, brushing dust off her clothes. She had slept beside the old bus station again. Cold concrete, a torn blanket, and the sound of cars passing by all night. But today felt different. She smiled, remembering Mr. Cole's words from yesterday. "Come to the workshop tomorrow. I have an offer for you." For the first time in a long time, she had something to look forward to. Lena washed her face using water from a nearby tap, tied her messy hair, and began walking toward the workshop. Her stomach growled. She hadn't eaten since yesterday morning, but she didn't care. Her heart was full of hope. When she reached the huge glass building, the guards looked at her with confusion. One of them said, "Hey kid, this place isn't for visitors." She took a deep breath and said politely, "Mr. Cole told me to come. He said he has an offer for me." The guard raised his eyebrows. "Mr. Cole? Are you sure?" Before she could answer, a familiar voice came from behind. "Let her in." It was Mr. Cole himself, wearing his usual suit, holding a coffee cup. The guards immediately stepped aside. Lena smiled shyly. "Good morning, sir." "Good morning, Lena," he said, walking toward her. "You're right on time. I like that." He motioned for her to follow him inside. The workshop was already busy. Mechanics moving tools, engines roaring, people rushing around. But everything stopped for a moment when Lena walked in. The same men who laughed at her yesterday now stared with surprise and curiosity. Mr. Cole led her to his office upstairs. It was large, clean, and filled with photos of cars and trophies. He sat behind his desk and pointed to the chair across from him. "Sit, please." Lena sat down carefully, feeling nervous. Mr. Cole looked at her seriously. "Lena, I've been thinking a lot about what you did yesterday. You fixed something no one else could fix. That shows talent and courage." She lowered her eyes. "Thank you, sir. I want to offer you something," he continued. "I have a training program here for young mechanics. Normally, only students from top schools get in. But I'd like to make an exception for you." Lena blinked, unsure she heard correctly. "You mean I can learn here?" "Yes," Mr. Cole said. "You'll work with my team. You'll get food, a place to stay, and a small pay. It's not much at first, but if you prove yourself, who knows where it could lead." Her heart skipped a beat. She wanted to say thank you, but her throat felt tight. She nodded quickly, her eyes shining. "Thank you, sir. I won't disappoint you." Mr. Cole smiled slightly. "Good. You start today." He pressed a button on his desk, and one of the mechanics, a man named David, entered. "David," Mr. Cole said, "this is Lena. She's joining our training team. Make sure she gets what she needs." David looked surprised, but nodded. "Yes, sir." When they walked out of the office, David gave Lena a small smile. "You're the girl who fixed the billionaire's car, huh?" Lena laughed softly. "I guess so." He handed her a blue uniform. "Here, this is for you. It might be a bit big, but we'll fix it later." She held it in her hand, smiling. It was the first time in her life someone had given her real work clothes. The rest of the day passed quickly. She learned how the workshop worked, how each team handled different cars, how every screw and wire mattered. Some workers were still unsure about her, but when they saw how fast she learned, their doubts slowly changed to respect. At lunch, she sat alone in the corner, eating quietly. She wasn't used to sitting at a table or having a warm meal, but when David joined her, she smiled. "You're doing great, kid," he said. "Mr. Cole doesn't praise people often." "You must have really impressed him," Lena blushed. "I just did what I could." Later in the afternoon, Mr. Cole came down to check on her. She was fixing a small part of an engine with focus and care. "How's your first day going?" he asked. She looked up and smiled. "It's the best day I've had in a long time." He nodded. "Good. Keep that attitude, Lena. Talent is rare, but hard work is rarer." Before he walked away, he paused and said, "Oh, and tonight, you won't sleep at the bus station. I've arranged a small room for you here. It's simple but safe." Lena froze for a second. "You did that for me?" "Yes," he said. "You've earned it." Her eyes filled with tears, but she quickly wiped them away. "Thank you, sir." "I don't know how to thank you enough," he smiled faintly. "Just keep fixing things, Lena. That's all I ask." That night, Lena sat on her small bed inside her new room. Clean sheets, soft light, and a little window showing the stars. She looked out and whispered, "Dad, I think my life is changing." For the first time in years, she fell asleep without fear, dreaming not of hunger or cold, but of engines, cars, and a future she never thought she'd have. Morning light slipped through the small window of Lena's new room. For the first time in a long time, she woke up feeling safe. No noise, no cold ground, no fear, just warmth and hope. She sat up and looked around. A small bed, a wooden table, a mirror, and a uniform hanging neatly by the door. Her lips curved into a smile. "It's real," she whispered. "It's really real." After washing up, she quickly put on her blue uniform and tied her hair back. Then she headed downstairs to the workshop. The smell of oil, metal, and machines filled the air. It was busy as always. Workers moving, engines roaring, tools clinking. When she arrived, David waved at her. "Morning, Lena. Ready for another big day?" She grinned. "Always." But not everyone was happy to see her. A tall mechanic named Rick stood nearby with crossed arms, whispering to another worker. "She's just a kid. Mr. Cole's giving her too much attention," he said quietly. The other man shrugged. "Yeah, but the boss trusts her. What can we do?" Rick frowned. "We'll see how long that lasts." Lena didn't hear them. She was too focused on learning. She watched, listened, and practiced. Every bolt, every wire. She wanted to understand everything. By noon, Mr. Cole came down from his office. Everyone stopped working for a moment. He was holding a tablet with some photos and reports. "Listen, everyone," he announced. "Tomorrow we're testing the new model, the Falcon X. It's our most advanced car yet. The engine's been giving trouble and we need a full inspection today." He looked around. "I want the best team on it." Rick immediately stepped forward. "Sir, I've been leading engine tests for years." "I can handle it," Mr. Cole nodded slowly. "Good, you'll lead." "But I want Lena on your team." The room went silent. Rick's smile faded. "Sir, with respect, this is a serious job. She's just a trainee." Mr. Cole's voice was calm but firm. "Yes, and I trust her eyes more than most experts' hands." "That's final." Rick clenched his jaw. "Understood." Lena looked down, feeling nervous but also proud. Mr. Cole gave her a small nod before walking away. As soon as he left, Rick turned to her. "Don't slow me down, kid," he said sharply. "I won't," she replied softly. For the rest of the day, they worked on the Falcon X. It was a sleek black car with a powerful engine, complicated, sensitive, and expensive. Rick kept giving her the hardest tasks, trying to make her fail. But every time she handled them calmly. At one point he said, "Check the valve alignment." "Let's see if you even know what that means." She didn't answer. She just picked up her tools and started checking. Within minutes, she noticed something off. A small misalignment that could cause the engine to overheat. "Rick," she said politely, "this part isn't fitting right. It might be causing the problem." Rick looked over, annoyed. "That's not the issue. Just do what I said." But Lena stayed firm. "Sir, please. Look closely. If we fix this, the engine might run perfectly." He sighed, clearly irritated, but leaned closer to check. His eyes widened slightly. She was right. "Fine," he muttered. "Lucky guess." Lena didn't argue. She kept working quietly. By evening, Mr. Cole returned to see their progress. "How's it going?" he asked. Rick forced a smile. "We're almost done, sir." Lena looked up. "Sir, we found a small issue in the valve alignment." "I fixed it. It should be okay now." Mr. Cole walked over and started the engine. The Falcon X came to life with a perfect deep sound. Smooth, steady, strong. He turned to her, impressed. "You found the issue?" She nodded shyly. "Yes, sir." Rick stayed silent, embarrassed. Mr. Cole smiled. "Excellent work, both of you." "But Lena," that was sharp observation, "you've got a rare gift." Rick looked down, pretending to adjust his tools. After Mr. Cole left, he said coldly, "Don't think this makes you special. You just got lucky again." Lena looked at him calmly. "Maybe, but luck only helps when you try." Rick glared but didn't answer. That night, while everyone else went home, Lena stayed behind to clean her tools. David walked up to her, smiling. "You handled yourself well today," he said. "Thanks," she replied. "I just wanted to do my best." "You did more than that," he said. "You earned respect, even from the ones who don't want to give it." She smiled faintly. "I just hope Mr. Cole's proud." "He is," David said. "Trust me." Lena looked around the empty workshop, the machines resting quietly under the soft light. For the first time, she felt like she belonged there. But far above, in his office, Mr. Cole was on a phone call, his face serious. "Yes," he said. "We'll need her tomorrow. The test will be dangerous. But I believe in that girl." He hung up, looking out the window at the workshop floor where Lena stood. He didn't know it yet, but tomorrow's test would be more than a car challenge. It would be a test of trust, courage, and fate. The next morning, the workshop buzzed with energy. Today was the day, the Falcon X test day. Everyone knew it. The sleek black car stood in the center of the room, shining under the lights. Engineers checked every wire, every bolt, and every sensor twice. Cameras were ready. Investors were coming to watch. Lena stood quietly near the car, wearing her uniform, her hair tied neatly back. Her heart was beating fast, but she kept her hands steady. David walked over with a smile. "Big day, huh?" She nodded. "Yes, I hope everything goes right." "It will," he said. "You did great work. Just trust yourself," but not everyone shared his faith. Rick stood across the room, talking to two mechanics in low voices. "She's the reason I have to share this job," he muttered. "If something goes wrong today, let's see if the boss still believes in her." Lena didn't hear him. She was focused on the engine, checking it one last time. Everything looked perfect. Tight bolts, balanced wires, smooth sound. At exactly 10 a.m., Mr. Cole entered the workshop with a few investors in expensive suits. Everyone straightened up. "Good morning, team," he said firmly. "Today's test is very important. The Falcon X will decide if we move forward with production." He looked directly at Lena. "I trust this machine because of your work, Lena. Let's see what it can do." She nodded, her voice soft but clear. "Yes, sir. The test was to happen on a private track outside the city." Soon everyone moved there, a wide-open road surrounded by trees and safety barriers. The car was loaded onto a truck and driven out. When they arrived, the air was cool, the wind strong. The Falcon X was rolled onto the track, black paint gleaming in the sunlight. "All right," said Mr. Cole. "Rick, you'll drive. Lena, you'll monitor the engine readings from the back seat." Rick frowned but didn't argue. "Fine." They got inside. Mr. Cole stood near the pit area with his tablet, watching the screen that showed every movement of the car. "Ready?" he said through the headset. "Ready," Rick replied, his hands tight on the steering wheel. "Go." The Falcon X shot forward with a roar. It sped down the track like lightning, smooth and powerful. Lena watched the numbers on the tablet beside her. Speed, pressure, temperature. Everything was perfect. But then, halfway down the second lap, a warning light blinked. The temperature gauge jumped suddenly. "Something's wrong," she said quickly. Rick frowned. "Relax, it's fine." "No, it's overheating. Stop the car," she shouted, but Rick pressed harder on the accelerator. "You don't tell me what to do, kid." The engine began to shake. Smoke rose from the hood. "Rick, stop!" she screamed again. Finally, he hit the brakes hard. The car screeched and came to a stop at the edge of the track. Steam poured out. Lena jumped out immediately and opened the hood. The heat hit her face like fire. "The coolant line! It's loose!" she cried. Rick cursed under his breath. "Impossible!" "I checked it." Mr. Cole and the team ran over. "What happened?" he asked urgently. Lena pointed. "The coolant connector slipped. If we hadn't stopped, the whole engine would have burned." Mr. Cole looked at the part. She was right again. Rick stepped back, pale. He didn't know that one of his assistants had accidentally replaced the wrong pipe earlier, and he hadn't checked it properly. David ran up with tools, and together with Lena, they fixed the connector in minutes. When the engine cooled, she turned to Mr. Cole. "Sir, I think it's safe now, but we should go slower for the next round." He nodded. "Good call. You saved it." He looked at Rick. "You should have listened to her." Rick lowered his head, ashamed. After a few minutes, they started the second test. This time, everything went perfectly. The Falcon X flew down the track like a dream, the engine purring smoothly. When the car stopped, applause broke out among the workers and investors. Mr. Cole smiled proudly. "Ladies and gentlemen," he announced, "meet the Falcon X and meet the girl who saved it." He turned to Lena. "You've proven yourself again. You're not just talented, you're fearless." Lena blushed, trying to hide her smile. "Thank you, sir. I just did what I had to do." The investors were impressed. One of them whispered, "That girl is special. You should keep her close, Mr. Cole." He nodded. "I plan to." When they returned to the workshop that evening, everyone congratulated Lena. Even Rick quietly said, "You did good, kid." "I was wrong about you," she smiled kindly. "It's okay. We all make mistakes." Later that night, Mr. Cole called her to his office. The city lights shimmered outside the window. "Lena," he said seriously, "I saw how you handled today's danger. You stayed calm and you saved the car, maybe even lives. I want to promote you." Her eyes widened. "Promote me?" "Yes. You'll work as my personal assistant mechanic directly under me." "You've earned it." Lena could hardly speak. "Sir, I don't know what to say." "Just say you'll keep trying," he said with a small smile. "I will," she whispered. That night, she sat on her bed again, looking out at the stars. Her heart was full, pride, joy, and a feeling she hadn't known in years, belonging. She whispered, "Dad, I think you'd be proud of me." The wind outside seemed to answer softly, just like before, but somewhere far away, someone else was watching her story hour and planning to change everything again. The next morning, the workshop felt brighter than ever. Everyone was still talking about yesterday's test, how the Falcon X had finally succeeded and how a young girl had saved the day. Lena arrived early as always. She wore her uniform proudly and smiled at the workers who now greeted her with respect. Even Rick gave her a small nod when she passed by. But not far away, behind the glass office upstairs, someone was watching her closely. His name was Mr. Blake, the company's financial manager. He had worked with Mr. Cole for years, but lately his eyes had turned cold and greedy. As Lena walked past, Mr. Blake whispered to another man on the phone, "Yes, she's the one. The billionaire trusts her completely now. That could be useful." He hung up, hiding a smirk. Down in the workshop, Mr. Cole called Lena into his office. "Good morning, Lena," he said warmly. "I have something important for you." She smiled. "Good morning, sir." "What is it?" He handed her a folder. "These are the engine reports from yesterday. I want you to double-check them and make sure the results match the data from the test." "Yes, sir," she said, taking the folder. He looked at her seriously. "And Lena, don't show this to anyone else. Some of these details are private," she nodded. "I understand." When she left the office, Mr. Cole leaned back in his chair. He trusted her, maybe more than anyone else in that building, but outside, Mr. Blake saw her walking with the folder. His eyes narrowed. He called another man, a rival car investor named Mr. Harris. "She has the Falcon X data," Blake said quietly. "If we get it, we can sell it for millions." Harris replied, "Then get it. Do whatever you must." Later that day, Lena sat at her small desk, carefully checking the reports. She didn't know that danger was slowly circling around her. David came by with lunch. "You've been working all morning," he said kindly. "You should eat," she smiled. "Thanks, David. I'll take a break soon." As soon as he left, Mr. Blake walked in, pretending to be friendly. "Ah, Lena." "Working hard as always," he said. She smiled politely. "Yes, sir. Just checking the reports Mr. Cole gave me." He leaned closer. "Oh, I see. The Falcon X data, right? The boss asked me to review it too." "Can I take a quick look?" Lena paused. Something didn't feel right. Mr. Cole had clearly told her not to show it to anyone. "I'm sorry, sir," she said softly but firmly. "Mr. Cole said only he should see it." Blake's smile faded slightly, but he kept his voice calm. "Of course. I understand." He walked away, but his eyes were dark with anger. That night, after everyone left, Lena stayed late again to finish her work. The workshop was quiet, only the soft hum of lights above. Suddenly, she heard a noise. Footsteps behind her. She turned quickly. "Hello?" No answer. Then a shadow moved near the office door. Before she could react, someone grabbed the folder from her desk and ran. "Hey!" she shouted, chasing after them. The thief ran toward the back exit. Lena ran faster, her footsteps echoing on the concrete floor. Just as the man reached the door, she grabbed his arm and pulled hard. The folder fell to the ground, papers flying everywhere. The man pushed her away and ran into the dark. Lena fell, her arm hitting the floor, but she didn't care. She crawled toward the papers, collecting them quickly. Her heart was racing. Just then, David rushed in. "Lena, are you okay?" She nodded, breathing fast. "Someone tried to steal Mr. Cole's reports." "What?" he shouted. "Who?" "I couldn't see his face," she said. "But he was wearing a black jacket." David helped her up and called security. Soon, guards arrived and locked the gates. Mr. Cole was informed immediately. Within minutes, he appeared, his face hard and serious. "Lena, are you hurt?" "I'm fine, sir," she said. "But someone tried to take your files." He looked at the scattered papers, then at her bruised arm. "You protected them?" She nodded. "Yes." He sighed deeply and placed a hand on her shoulder. "You did the right thing. Thank you, Lena. You might have just saved this company." But as they spoke, Mr. Blake stood quietly near the door, pretending to be surprised. Who would do such a thing? He asked in fake concern. Mr. Cole turned to him. "We'll find out. Check all security footage." "Of course," Blake said, hiding his nervous eyes. Later that night, when everyone had gone, Blake returned secretly to his office. He threw his phone on the desk in anger. "She ruined everything," he whispered. "That girl is becoming a problem." He looked out the window at the dark workshop below. If she stays, she'll uncover everything. Meanwhile, Lena sat in her room holding the now safe folder close to her chest. She couldn't stop thinking about what happened. Who wanted those papers and why? She looked out the window at the stars again. "Dad," she whispered, "something bad is coming." "I can feel it." Her voice trembled, but her eyes stayed strong. She didn't know it yet, but soon she would discover a secret that could destroy everything she had built, or make her stronger than ever. That night, Lena could hardly sleep. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw that man running away with the folder. Something deep inside her told her this wasn't over yet. Early next morning, she went back to the workshop before everyone else. The place was quiet, the smell of oil and metal still in the air. She carefully opened the folder again and looked through every page. At first, everything looked normal. Engine reports, speed tests, designs. But then, she noticed something strange. On the last page, there was a small handwritten note. Not from her, not from Mr. Cole. It said, "Delivery tonight. Copy files before midnight." Her heart started racing. Someone inside the company was trying to sell the Falcon X secrets. Before she could think further, she heard a voice behind her. "Looking for something?" She turned quickly, running, and froze. It was Mr. Blake. He walked slowly toward her, his face calm but his eyes cold. "I see you found my note," he said quietly. You? Lena stammered. "Why?" "You work for Mr. Cole." He laughed bitterly. "Work for him? I built this company's success. But he never gave me what I deserved. So I made my own deal, one that pays better." "You tried to steal the Falcon X reports," she said, stepping back. He smiled. "Yes, and you ruined it. But it's not too late to fix that." He pulled out a small flash drive. "You're good with engines, Lena. You can copy those files for me. Do it, and I'll make you rich. You won't have to live like this anymore." Lena looked at him, anger in her eyes. "I didn't fix the Billionaire's engine for money. I did it because I believed in what's right." Blake's smile vanished. "Then you'll regret this." Suddenly, the office door opened, and then Mr. Cole stepped in. His face was hard, his voice cold. "No, Blake, you're the one who will regret this." Blake froze. You were listening." Mr. Cole held up his phone. "I recorded everything. Security cameras are everywhere." "It's over." Guards rushed in and grabbed Blake by the arms. He struggled, shouting, "You'll regret trusting that girl. She'll ruin you someday." But Mr. Cole just looked at Lena. "No, she saved me." As they took Blake away, the tension in the room finally broke. Lena stood quietly, still holding the folder. Mr. Cole walked up to her. "You were right to trust your heart, Lena. You stopped a thief and protected something more valuable than money. Honesty." She smiled softly. "I just did what I thought was right, sir." He nodded, then looked thoughtful. "Tell me something, Lena. You once said your father taught you everything about engines. What happened to him?" Her eyes lowered for a moment. "He passed away when I was 12. He used to say, 'If you believe you can fix something, never stop trying.'" Mr. Cole smiled kindly. "He must have been proud of you." She looked at him, eyes wet but shining. "I hope so." He placed a hand on her shoulder. "From today, you're not just a mechanic. You're the new chief engineer of Falcon Motors." Her eyes widened in shock. "Me?" "Yes," he said warmly. "You've earned it." Tears filled her eyes as she whispered, "Thank you, sir." "I won't let you down," he smiled. "I know you won't." Months later, the Falcon X finally launched. It became the most successful car in the company's history. Reporters filled the hall, cameras flashing, and there, standing proudly beside the car, was Lena, the homeless girl who once asked, "If you permit, I will try." As the crowd cheered, she looked up at the sky and whispered softly, "Dad, I did it." A small smile crossed her lips as the lights of success shone around her. Not because of fame or money, but because she proved that even the ones the world forgets can shine the brightest.